I think we'll come back to the Super Bowl in a little bit, but I just want to talk about the NFC Championship game because I have a lot to say about that because that was a little bit of a shitstorm if I'm Green Bay. Because so the let's say you looked decent in the beginning of the game, but my main thing is who was that? It was a DB who let up about
Kevin
what
King.
two Kevin King, man. Oh my Jesus. He let up the play that really got me was before halftime. You have that deep ball to
No, that's on the defensive coordinator who just got fired actually. Mike
Scotty
Patine.
Miller.
it's the Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was just unbelievable. That's a play you cannot let up, especially when you're playing Tom Brady. You can't give it any easy plays, and especially there was like what 8 seconds left in the half.
Like 6.
It was just unreal. Like, how do you what did they come out in? He just got absolutely burned. Like I'm like, watching the route too. Kevin King steps back, he starts backpedaling, and then just like looks to the right, like he's gonna cut. Like he's running to the pylon.
I think I was trying to figure it out. And again, you guys know I rewatch a lot of games. I like to watch all the film and stuff.
Mhm.
And I think the thought process was that they had 6, 7 people in the box, Green Bay. And I think the thought process was going to be a quick dink, dunk, or like an out route. They weren't going to run deep because they just wouldn't test either Jair Alexander or the secondary. And obviously they did. So,
I mean, but you also got to think it's Bruce Arians. He's a big vertical offense guy. He's going to make risky calls like that.
Doesn't he have like a saying like you got to risk it for the biscuit or something like that?
Is that Bruce Arians? I'm not sure.
Is that his saying?
I don't think
it's something about basically risking it. You got.
But he loves big plays.
You got to throw it downfield. You have to risk.
Yeah, you saw last year with Jameis Winston. The man had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. It's a very vertical offense.
And also, don't forget, the quarterback Tom Brady he's kind of a smart guy. And on that exactly. On that last play, that controversial pass interference call, who he threw it to? Kevin King, because he knew, okay, that's my mismatch because that guy stinks. He's been our receivers been going at him all day.
And so let's be real. Brady didn't have a great game, but why he is so good is in the right moments, he will always make the right decision. He will always find a way to win. In that play before halftime, at the end of the game, when it comes to that moment, he will make the play. I mean, he threw 3 interceptions, 280 yards, 20 completions. I mean, that's okay.
Does his job. I mean, again, it's kind of like baseball in a sense of timely hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have timely plays. You need to have timely drives. You need to have timely scoring. It's the same thing in baseball. You have to have timely hitting. If you get 20 hits in a game, it does you no good if there's one person on base and the person's at first base. It does you nothing.
We could tell you that as Yankees fans. But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is worn out. He looked frustrated in that post game.
Kev used to be a Met fan. Wait, what?
But Aaron Rodgers, man, he played phenomenally. I think he's beyond livid with coaching. You're Aaron Rodgers, right? So that 3rd and 8, 3rd and goal or whatever it was from the 8-yard line or so. I think
the field goal.
Yeah, I think. Let's say people wanted him to run the ball, but I know you definitely watched the film. There was guys there. I understand why he threw it. The Devontae Adams connection's been there all year. I respect the decision to throw that ball from Aaron Rodgers and not run it. That makes sense to me. If you put the ball to anybody, that connection's worked all year, and Aaron Rodgers is going to roll, get 4 yards down, get blown up by an outside linebacker? For what? I think that Devontae Adams was the right choice. It just didn't work out. Okay. Why in God's name don't you go for it on 4th down? That might have been one of the worst decisions I've ever seen.
Did he actually think he trusted his defense to stop? Like that's the only way. But even then,
it's not even
defense is not good. The defense is not good.
Let's say you have to go for it and you don't get it. You're still gonna have to test it again and go for it. And if you get the ball back, anyway,
and you get the ball potentially they could put the ball at the end of the back of their end zone, so you may get around midfield.
If you have the MVP on your roster and arguably the best receiver in the game, and you're standing at the 8-yard line on 4th down, I'm going for it every single time.
Matt LaFleur needs a lot to learn. I do not rate him as a coach, honestly. I don't rate him as a good coach. He's subpar, honestly. He's better than Mike McCarthy, but come on, how if you're this offensive guru and you're under Sean McVay, and you have Aaron Rodgers, why you take the ball out of his hand and send him for a field goal? And it makes no sense because you're still down by 5.
And give Tom Brady the ball to burn out the clock.
Exactly. It's not washed up Drew Brees, unfortunately. Although I love Drew Brees, but Tom Brady right now in his career is better than Drew Brees now. Like you can, or like Mitch Trubisky. Like it's a little different, but it's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, and in a very powerful.
And your defense stinks. Your defense stinks,
especially in those short plays. I'm back. I like that a little bit there, but we're all good.
Jeez, come on, man! Like, is like your router like on the other side of the goddamn universe?
It's actually terrible. I'm gonna have to run something up here, but we'll figure that out as we go. But I think there's gonna be we're gonna have a lot of talk about Aaron Rodgers to other teams, Aaron Rodgers to San Fran, Aaron Rodgers to Indy. I don't think he's gonna leave Green Bay. I don't think he's going anywhere. They'll never let that man go. But he's just pissed because I get
that's who he is.
He tends to express his frustration a lot. But I mean, he's been to NFC titles how many times now? Like what, 6 times won once or 7 times won once? And I'll tell you know that off the top of your head.
Stuff like that.
It's frustrating.
I mean, like at the end of the day, I think the thing that killed him the most was, and you can tell in that game, I think Tampa Bay. See, it's tough because like I feel like it was a pretty even game, but not having your first and second round pick make a difference in that game is what killed them.
Mm-hmm.
Killed them. And it's just what are you doing? What I think is one of the best quarterbacks in terms of ability.
Yeah.
Maybe not winning, but I think in terms of throwing ability, I think Rodgers is the best. I think he's the best out of pocket passer and throw on the run quarterback in the game ever. And it just kind of begs the question: either get him wide receiver or get him defensive help or something. But having your first 2 picks just not make a difference in that game is like, you got to be kidding me.
And now you have
one of your third string quarterback.
Yeah. Aaron Jones is going to be a concerning one going into next year.
Yeah.
Because he's not coming back. They offered him Aaron Jones a big contract
after that play call.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got fired. He got canned, and he deserved it. Like, the guy stinks.
They could bring in another running back next year, that guy like ETN. We'll cover stuff like that a little bit. But they need another weapon for Rodgers or some defensive help because he's really getting testy in Green Bay.
Yeah. But I think that's just Rodgers. That's his personality. He's not like the charismatic leader. You know, he's just not that guy. He's just not. Exactly. He might be.
I respect that. I respect that. Do your job. I'm very into that. Yeah. Do your job.
Yeah, he's kind of like a lead by example type of guy. Yeah, he's a lead by example. Just I do my thing. You got to match that at your position. I think that's how I see it. So he's not going to be, in your face pumping you up or whatever. Keep like, oh, don't worry, kid. Keep your head up. No, he's not that. He's not that guy.
Oh, 100%. I've watched him a lot actually on the Pat McAfee show. Goes on there. He's friends with him apparently. And I see Rodgers talk. Like there was the game before that, AJ Dillon had a couple nice runs, right? And they're like, "Oh, how about AJ Dillon going to next year?" This, that. He's like, he got in there, he did his job. We need Aaron Jones back out there, who's making big plays for us. He's not going to give you the credit. He's not going to not give you the credit. But he's going to give you exactly what you deserve and nothing more. He's not going to hype you up, pump you up. Do your job, and that's what I expect of you. That's it.